Hi everyone, this is Sharon with Crafty Acres, and this evening we've got some elderberries that I'm going to be propagating. And we're just getting back here to where they're planted, or where they're actually not planted. We had some wild elderberry out in the woods, and the birds eat them so fast. They love them. And so I think what happened was the elderberry ended up eating them, and they got spread up here towards the house in their poop. So so we have a couple of, it's about one or two elderberry bushes, I'd say. No, it's about one. Looks like it's one, and it's right in an undesirable spot. Let me show you. Here it is. This is the bush, the plant, the elderberry plant, and this is a disc. So we don't want them here, but let me see if I can't find a good spot to set you up, and I'll show you how we're going to cut it back and get some starts off of it. Okay, so I think I got you set up good. This is the elderberry plant, and it's just one. These are just trash weeds right here. It is starting to come out of dormancy, just starting. So this is okay. We can still get our starts off of this plant. And it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stems coming off of it. So we can go ahead and get a bunch of starts off of this. Now, I'm going to try and let you know the benefits of having elderberry. You just want to get the stems that are about a year old. This is about a little bit bigger than a pencil thickness, so this is perfect. But the reason you want elderberries in your garden is to be able to have elderberry. Elderberries are very good for antioxidants. They have a lot of minerals in them. If you're feeling sick, you can take a tincture of elderberry. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube to show you how to do that. You can make tinctures, and from those tinctures you can just drink a little bit of it, and within a couple of days you'll be feeling, depend on how fast you went down or how quickly you were able to recognize that you were going down. You were able to, you can take that tinctures and drink it. There is one YouTube channel that I do listen to, and I learned a lot of this about elderberry from that channel, and that is Doug and Stacy's Homestead. And they have a gentleman, they're out in the Missouri area, and there's a gentleman that is what his business is. For 30 years he's been teaching people the benefits of elderberry and teaching them why they should grow it. It's a great medicinal, it's great medicine, all natural medicine for you. And so he said that you can cut it down to the ground. I'm not going to cut it all the way down to the ground. I don't know if we're going to need to get this disc out or not, but I'm just kind of going above the first node just in case. That way we have some stems. Now this one is about a 3/4 inch stem. You can use this, but it would take longer, and it's harder for these stems to produce a start. The smaller ones are better. The really tiny ones are okay, but you do want to make sure that at least pencil size or bigger is the best one. Pencil size up to a 1/4 inch is the best size, he says. This gentleman says, and I can't remember his name. See, we can take, and this will all regrow back. So everything that I'm taking off will regrow back. I'm just getting some areas that are good. So what I'm looking for initially is I'm looking for 2 nodes and 2 nodes. So basically, here's 2 nodes and here's 2 nodes. And they alternate, as you can tell. So I can get 2 starts out of this. I would cut it off, I would knock these 2 off, and I would knock these 2 off. Growth starts. And then I would cut it at a diagonal, cut it straight across at a diagonal, and then I'd have 2 starts here. And I'll show you later on how to do that. I'm going to finish cutting some more of this off, but I'm not going to cut too much. I think we just have that one right there. And I think I'll just leave this because we can still get around this right here. Just take this one that's going off to the side. I can get it back there. Well, I'm gonna have to come from this side. There we go. Now we have everything that I need. I'll take you up to a spot and show you what we're going to do with these. All right, guys, now I'm up here closer to the house where I can go ahead and cut my sprigs. Probably should have oriented myself a little better so I'm not facing the sun. That's okay. It's getting to sunset time. So what I want to do, what I'm looking for on these starts, or on these sticks is, again, 2 nodes. Here's one node where it's starting to bud out. Here's another node. So what you want to do is cut it at an angle at the first node and straight across above the second one. That's your first start. And put it down. Do it again. Angle it and then straight across. I got 2 out of that one. This one, these are too small. So this one we can angle it down here. And straight across. Angle it straight across. And I'll knock these off when I go to put them in the water. Just the ones for there is no other node. Yeah, there is a node right here. So on this one, there's the nodes here. We'll knock these off, cut an angle, and then this is the top. And there's the little nodes there. I don't know if you can see them. Maybe if I put up you can just see little starts. That'll work. Okay, and then I'm just gonna work my way through this. We'll see how many we have. Probably we'll end up with a fist or 2 of these, and that'll be great because then it'll take 2 years for them to grow out. So they'll end up having robust roots this year, and then we'll end up having plants that produce next year. So it does take 2 years, unfortunately, but that's not too bad. And the plant that I just cut down, it will produce as if it was never even touched. So I'm just going to keep cutting these, and I'll be back in a few minutes. And you want at least 4 inches. That's 4 inches. So I can angle this one, knock these off, and here's my sprouts for the top. So here's the sprouts for the top, here's the root. You want it about 4 inches long, and that's what this one is, no shorter. I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these fixed, and then we'll proceed on. All right, I think I got it set up so that you guys can see what we've got going on here. So, Harley. So we got all the starts, the twigs that we cut 2 nodes at the bottom, 1 node at the top. I'll have to go through these, but I'm losing daylight, and pop off all of these lower ones where it's cut at the angle and pop them in here. So what you want is just a paper towel that's wet, dampened in the bottom of the mason jar. Put the slanted points down, the other ones up, and just let it be moist. I might have a little bit too many in here, maybe not. I'm going to divide them up and bun these 3. And if I can keep them underneath the level of the lip, then I can screw a mason jar over it, a lid over it, and keep that moisture trapped inside like a greenhouse effect. And then the other ones, when they're too tall, I can maybe drape a little paper towel or plastic wrap over it and put a rubber band around it to kind of keep it, or just leave it on the counter just like this and let them go. You should see roots and more leafage happening in roughly 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. And that's when you'll know if your starts are viable, if they took. So we'll leave these, we'll do updates on them, but for right now, like I said, I'm going to take them out, pop off the bottoms. It's just getting dark on me, and I've got another project to do before it gets dark, so I've got to get on to that. But I wanted to show you how I put them in the mason jars and keep them. And you just want to make sure that towel stays damp, maybe just a tiny bit of water at the bottom, so that they all can reach the dampness. And you just want to make sure all the tips can reach that dampness. All right, so that's all that we have to do. This is Elderberry 101, and I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe. Share it with anybody that would like to learn more about how to propagate elderberry. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.